Leeds failed to gain promotions to the Premier League and are starting to lose some big players. Their most recent player, Somerville, is going to West Ham, and the club is looking to sign more players. People don't realize how scary their potential lineup will be next season. Wait, please like the video and subscribe to the channel as it helps a great amount. So as you guys can see, Somerville is in the starting lineup as you see West Ham United, but if you haven't noticed, there are a few changes. We did move Kuros to a center attacking midfielder, Payet, who has been tending to play on that left wing position ever since he came to West Ham. We're dropping him into the midfield to be our box-to-box midfielder. And then Guido Rodriguez is our starting CDM. I'm going to change it. I'm going to make him a rotational option. I think he's coming in because Alvarez, I believe, suffered a really bad injury, so I don't think he's out right now, but I do like Alvarez over Rodriguez. However, I haven't seen much of Rodriguez's game, so I'm going to be starting up the team like this. And then on top of that, we have Wan-Bissaka, who is heavily linked to West Ham and is the most likely destination for him to exit Manchester United. And I have enjoyed him at Manchester United a lot. I've enjoyed his time at the club, so it's sad to see him go. People are happy to see him move on. I'm not really happy. I really liked him, and I think he's been one of our best defensive players within this past like 5 years, obviously. But then you have Lisandro Martinez coming in and Varane being really good but injury prone, so it's this whole thing. But yeah, but when you have Maguire, it's been weird. But going back to West Ham, this is most likely the lineup. I'm not going to make any signings for this season, but the next season I'm looking to improve, maybe on the left back spot, maybe Zuma, since he's getting a little bit old. How old is he? 28. I lied, he's not even that old. He just left Chelsea really early after that cat incident. So I'm going to be going to the end of the season, and then I'll meet you back with you guys, and we'll see how the squad develops. It is the January transfer window, and I did make some mistakes before the season started. I forgot that 2 players were signed as well, in addition to Somerville, and then obviously the transfer rumor of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Max Kilman coming in from Wolves, $40 million pound fee, I believe, and I think a lot of people are saying he was overpaid, so I want to see what that's about. But it is because Wolves manager, I believe, came in after David Moyes was sacked, and then along with him, Nicholas Füllkrug has been confirmed. He has done his medical. He's completed it around the same time as Somerville, so he is our striker. So I had to empty out the club, and with that signing of Nicholas Füllkrug, we've got him to develop decently. And when it comes to emptying out the club, as you can see, Enrique, he is a young, I believe he's 23 years old, young player from Orlando City in the MLS. I watch Orlando because I have a friend in the academy, so I tend to keep up with MLS. And as you can see, I have found a hidden gem. He is quick, he can play multiple positions, and it's good because if you think about it, we have Bowen on the right, but since we moved Kudus to the right wing into the midfield, we don't have depth on the right wing, so that is something that we need to look for next season. And if you look in the starting 11, yes, we have development all around, but one key player is missing, and that is because he came off on the last half of the season with, I believe, a calf injury, so he hasn't been able to develop much. But hopefully next season he will have a comeback and develop really well. As you can see in the FA Cup, we are not in the final semis, but we do go out in the quarters to Man United, who aren't even in the final, so we don't even have a chance to go against the winners. So that's extremely unfortunate. And as you can see in the Carabao Cup, we are not in the finals or the semis or the quarters. If we go all the way to the round of 2, we lost to Swansea. Where are we? There we go. Swansea out of all clubs. So that was extremely unfortunate, a early letdown in the season. And then to make matters even worse, in the Europa League, we're not in the final, semis, or quarters. We lose in the round of the 16 after, I believe, topping our group. Yes, we did. Undefeated. We lose to a Russian side after winning 1-0 the first game. We lose 3-0 to go out, so that was extremely unfortunate. However, there is hope to have a good season, because if we go to the Prem, you're going to see, yes, we are in 6th place, but look, 8th place, 7th, 6th, 1 point. If I go up 5th, another the same amount of points as us, and then again Spurs 62 points. So there is a small chance that we are able to get Champions League. It comes down to this last game. However, if you look at the match fixture, we are going against Manchester City, who are on the top of the league, and they are flying through 90 points. So we are going to be simming this last game with the hopes to get qualification for the Champions League. So after putting our best lineup possible in order to go against what is going to be the Premier League champions, we're in a quick sim, and if we can win this game, it will be lovely. And we do. We win 2-0. Füllkrug scoring in the first half, Bowen to close it off. looks like we got the better of City. Now this determines if we will see Champions League football next season and we finish 6th place. Let's see. Aston Villa won, Spurs won, and the goal difference has let us down. So I believe this puts us in Conference League football. So next season, the goal is going to be win that, and we're going to have to obviously improve on our depth. If we look at the development of our players, really lovely going all around. Emerson didn't develop that much. Somerville, slow start. However, I'm not mad with him doing, we'll see the stats, so I'm not mad at all. Enrique, he's done a little bit, I believe, but not bad for the first season whatsoever. If we look at the stats, 16 games, Nicholas Fulkrug has scored 9 goals and got 1 assist. So we cannot be mad at his performance coming in late into the second half of the season. We have Jared Bowen, 15 goals, 6 assists, developing decently. I'm not mad at that at all. Kudos had 8 goals and 6 assists before he was injured, so there could have been more. Also, the substitute, Ramiro Enrique, as you can see, 3 goals, 10 games for a rotational option. I am not mad. That is actually really good, especially since he also came late. James Ward-Prowse getting on the board as well, 4 goals, 1 assist. But Lucas Paqueta, I think he has been our best player this season. 18 goals, 6 assists in the midfield in a box-to-box sort of a deep beginning in a deeper role. Somerville only 5-5, Coronet 2-2. So Alvarez even getting on the score sheet, good amount of goal contributions, and Julio Rodriguez. So overall, decent performances all around, but there are some positions that need to be strengthened massively. Our main center back is coming in. As you can see, it is the former Barcelona player Andreas Christensen. I'm a big fan of him. He recently moved into a more pivot role under Xavi when Xavi was the manager, so playing that center defensive mid. However, I think his ball playing skills, his distribution, and his comfortability on the ball will be good in this back line. And compared to all the other center backs we can get, especially since we need more depth for the price, I think this is a really good purchase. This next player is currently leaving the club to Marseille in real life. However, I need a backup in this position, and I want it to be a younger player since the starter is older. If you couldn't guess by now, we're talking about the striker Youssef Moukoko from Dortmund. In real life, he's going to Marseille. I'm going to be picking up, and I know I signed that backup striker last season, but when we go over the squad with the new signings, you'll see why I'm signing a backup striker. As you can see, the 19-year-old Restes, the French talent as a goalkeeper, is coming in. I decided to go French for French. Obviously, it's Areola's French. We get Restes. I think it made most perfect sense, and he's going to be our starting keeper. Yes, he's a lower overall, but since he is young, he should be developing extremely fast, and hopefully by the end of the season, he'll be way better than what Areola was. The last deal is going to be a swap deal. We're getting rid of Emerson as we are bringing in a left back that's Brazilian from Ligue 1. We have Enrique from AS Monaco coming in. He is 26 years old, so he is younger than Emerson, and I think he still has room to grow. He comes in just 1 rating over, but he's well-rounded and a better player, so he is going to be coming in straight to our starting lineup. So with the new signings that I've made, this is what the squad's looking like. The starting lineup is pretty much the same, except we have Restes, and then we have Enrique for our new signings, and then on the bench we have Moukoko. You see, we have 2 strikers. However, Enrique, he is 5'7", and he can move out to that wing position. So even though he is right-footed, and I usually like having left-footers on the right on the left, I'm going to be having Enrique play the backup right wing position, and then obviously Cornet for Somerville. And the squad is looking really good. Kilman, Mavropanos, I'm going to have them fight. Even though Mavropanos isn't a left footer, we're going to have him fight with Kilman for that spot. But I do want to give it to Kilman a little bit because in real life, that is one of the major signings that have been made. However, when it comes to this cam position, it is a weird situation because we have Rodriguez for Alvarez. We have James Ward-Prowse for Paqueta. We do have this Irving player who we do have back from loan. However, I'm not familiar with him, and maybe I'll have him as like extreme emergency. However, I do want a backup cam to play behind Kudos because he did, like, just like last season, he got injured. However, we do not have that much money left. I believe we only have like 1.5 million pounds. So I'm going to be doing the youth academy, and we're going to be looking for a player as a backup, and it's going to be a little fun because we're going to be trying to get a regen of a club legend. As you can see, we have Billy Palmer, a 5-star scout. We're going to set up our network, and if you don't know who I'm going to be trying to finding a regen for by now, I'm surprised. West Ham, France, Dimitri Payet, one of my favorite free kick takers. Everyone knows the iconic streamer he scored. So I'm going to be sending someone to France. 3 months should be fine. We'll look for a technically gifted cam, and hopefully that finds us our next Dimitri Payet. It's throughout the season, but if I scroll down, you'll see I finally found our rotational option. It's a little bit in the season, but he's French. He's 66 overall. He's 6'1" and only has relentless playstyle. However, he has good pace and dribbling. So while he's not exactly Dimitri Payet, he's going to be ours. Next season is going to have to be one hell of a season, because after our decent placement in the league last season, if we go down, as you can see, we're not even in the top 8. We are 9th, and we're not even close to competing for any European football. So that means we're not going to have a lot of games throughout the season. It's going to be Carabao Cup and FA Cup and just the league. So hopefully next season we do extremely well. We've had some great development throughout the squad. Christensen 85, Kilman 81, not so much. Enrique gone up, I believe 3 ratings. Somerville's gone up to a point where I'm comfortable with. Bowen and Kudus each, Paqueta. So we have a great core. I don't know what's wrong with the team. I think it was the depth. As you can see, the bench, not a lot of high ratings. Mukoko so close to taking over Fulkrug. We're going to give him for one more season. And then our Dimitri Payet. Well, now you guys understand. Our French center Italian midfielder going up to 67. So hopefully he's able to take over that backup cam spot. But since we did bad this season, a lot of shocking moves are going to have to be made in order to generate the money needed to make some big signings and take this team to the top. It seems that the overall performance of the squad has dropped. As you can see, Jared Bowen is our best with 19 goals, 7 assists. He's done really good throughout the season. Fulkrug has been holding his own. Mukoko, his rotational option, he's gotten some contributions, but overall disappointing season amongst the entire squad. So we're definitely gonna have to make some very huge signings next season. One of our center backs, Mavropanos, the Greek man, I believe he came from Stuttgart. He's left the club. It won't show in the history because it was an agreed sale from the season before. However, the most surprising move that I've made this season is selling Jared Bowen. He's brought in a lot of money, and yes, he was our best player, but I like Kudus more on the wing. So even though we moved him centrally, we're going to move him out wide, and then we're going to get a more natural number 10 as our cam. That way we could hopefully get better playmaking going through that midfield. With Mavropanos gone, I thought it'd be a great decision to get one of the best center backs, Alessandro Bastoni from Inter Milan. It's a big money move. However, he's going to massively better the quality in our back line. Hopefully Bastoni coming in will allow us to concede less goals, especially with also our goalkeeper still developing and being very young. As you can see, the fans are excited. Malik Tillman, a young central attacking midfielder. I believe he's 23 years of age. He's an American, so I've been paying attention to him. He's one of my favorite players, and he is going to be really good coming into the squad. He's very creative. He's good, comfortable on the ball, and he is extremely strong as well. So him and Bastoni are our 2 big money signings, but obviously we need to worry about depth in the squad as well. Enrique is our only left back that we signed from last season, as we got rid of Emerson and then our backup retired. So I'm actually bringing in my own backup option from Granada, Carlos Neva. I was able to get him on a free. He is a decent player. He's not the best, however, he does have his good qualities. He does start, I believe, for Granada, so it's not that we're getting a horrible player. So this is what the starting lineup is currently looking like. But if you notice, Fulkrug has started to decline. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is, because he is a little old, so in the game, since he is declining, I'm going to move him on after the couple seasons. He has been really good. He has been bagging in goals, especially for how slow he was and low overall he came in with. So I think I'm ready to give Mukoko that starting spot, and with the extra money, we'll see if we go for an extra striker, or who knows, we'll see what we do. However, most likely that will probably be through the second half of the season. I think I'm gonna keep him in just for now because he's still decent stats and he can probably bag in some goals for us, and with the quality that we have and the type of players we have, it makes sense to have more of a target man. So that's most likely what we're gonna do. But players that are gone, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but the Moroccan center back, I think Agard, something like that. And then I believe someone else as well, but most of the faces are the same. We got some decent depth, so we'll see how the next season goes. We managed to get Champions League football. Despite the horrible season, we bounced back. I think with the lack of European football, we were able to have our starting lineup in most of the games in the Prem. As you can see, we tied with Arsenal and they had a better goal difference. But if you look at the score fixtures, we drew to them 1-1, so we had a chance to actually get second place. So we weren't that close to first. However, it's major improvement compared to the last season. However, in the competitions, we did horrific. I think we were around 4 exits. No, we were around 5 exit. We lost to Man City, which was a tough matchup. And then we also went out early in the Carabao Cup. If we look at the squad, Yusuf Moukoko has developed pretty well in order to take over Fulkrug's spot. So Fulkrug, even though it's a real life signing, we're most likely gonna have to move on. Maybe Moukoko takes that starting lineup or starting spot, or maybe we go and sign a world-class player, who knows. In addition, we have Paqueta, Alvarez, Kudus improving as well, Somerville a good amount. Restes did not improve as much because it was in February he got injured for 3 months, so we only had him for the last 2 games, so it was extremely unfortunate. However, I do want to focus on depth, so while we do good in Champions League, I do want to try to at least win the Prem as well. And we're going to move on to the next season, which is going to be the last season of this video. And hopefully, since it's been very poor and it seems like a failed rebuild, we're going to try to win at least 1 to 2 trophies. So as you can see real quick, for the keepers, I had to get an aging Daniel Batts as a free agent. He was the best available goalkeeper to get since it was outside the transfer window. And as you can see, he only had 31 appearances. But now if we're going to look at our goal scorers, Kudus, he was out for 2 months, and despite that, 25-5 being, let's see if he was our best player. Tillman 11-3, decent. Paqueta has been falling off on the goal contributions, so who knows, maybe we can move him on depending, even though he's our best player, maybe have some fun in the last season. We have Somerville going 12-7, not that bad. Alvarez 2-5, but overall decent performances. But the main issue is Moukoko. Even though he is a higher overall, he is not getting that much goal contributions, which leads me to believe that he will be a good rotational option. However, even with him being higher than Fulkrug, he is not going to be getting that starting spot. Fullback quality is something that we have been lacking. We have Enrique being 84 and Wan-Bissaka being 85. However, besides that, the backups haven't really been that great. So I'm bringing in a certain Turkish man. During the Euros, he was really impressive. He looked like he was playing every position on the pitch. Ferdi Kadioglu, I'm going to be using him to rotate both on the left and the right as he looks comfortable in real life on both spaces, and he's coming in at a really good rating, so I'm really happy with this signing. One of our crucial players and one of the real signings we made in the beginning, Fulkrug, is stepping out. He did a good job. I'm happy with how he did in this campaign. He's been a legend. And as you can see, another crucial player is leaving, Lucas Paqueta. He was our best player one season, and he's our best player rating wise, but last season just showed that he didn't have the best campaign. And for the club, and with the goal to win at least 2 trophies this season, I think getting the money for him is what we need. We are going big. This is our biggest signing. We're splashing so much money. Lautaro Martinez is going to be our starting striker. With how the seasons have been going, ups and downs, I think getting one of the best players currently in the world, he has an argument to be a Ballon d'Or winner. So we're bringing him into the club to be our number 9, and hopefully he does the best with a many amount of goals. And the final player to depart was our second season signing, I believe, Andreas Christensen. He's been decent. However, I think just getting a world-class defender is the next step, especially since Christensen doesn't have room to develop. So out he goes, and we need the money, and the next signing is going to be huge. To make this signing work, I quite literally had to use every cent I had in the club. Eder Militao, I don't know how he managed to do it. He's coming in from Bayern. He's an 89 overall. Not much needs to be said about this player, so I'm going to get them in the squad. Hopefully, with all the signings you see, Bastoni, Lautaro Martinez, we have a huge big 3 here at the club. Hopefully it works out and we win a lot of stuff this season. You guys might be wondering why I didn't sign a direct replacement for Paqueta. I'm going to give that spot as a rotational option. Or sorry, I'm going to use Rodriguez, put him in the starting lineup, and then have Praus be the rotational option for Rodriguez. I'm going to have to figure it out, but we're going to make it work with the youngsters at the club. Maybe this Irving guy. But we're going all out in trying to win a trophy. So the Prem, yes, it's considered a trophy, but it's going to be a little shaky. So Hopefully we can do it.
It was looking like we were going to win the Prem. We were going to get what we wanted all along. It's been a long journey. However, we fall short in the second half. We lost a game or two, or we lost one game, drew a bunch. We had a game against Arsenal, but it didn't really matter. They pulled ahead, so extremely unfortunate. Along with competitions, FA Cup, it's the final. We lost in the semi-finals on penalties to Fulham. We couldn't score in open play, which is extremely unfortunate. And I think, who was it that missed? I forgot. I think Wan-Bissaka or something like that. So that was heartbreaking. Carabao Cup, we somehow got a pretty early exit, which was ridiculous. Yeah, we lost to Middlesbrough on penalties with the team we have, which is extremely insane. And then the Champions League as well, we're going to go back to that. We lost to the potential winners, Manchester City. They are in the final against Milan. We lost 2-3. It was extremely close. So for our first season in Champions League football, even though it was the last season of the episode, extremely unfortunate. If we look at the squad, I don't know how we didn't win anything with this team. Tillman, Kudus, 89. Martinez, 90. Somerville, 88. Bastoni and Militao. Restes, 86. Like, I don't know if it was the tactics or something, or if it was the bench was holding their own. They were undefeated in the league at some point. We did get some nice development on our quote-unquote Payet, so that was nice. But overall, disappointing into the season. If we look at the stats here, Martinez 24-5, most goal contribution anyone's ever had on our team. Kudus 9 goals, 13 assists. The assists carried him. Tillman 17-7. Beautiful stats. Where's Somerville? Somerville 14-12. Like, the players were doing good, so it's extremely disappointing to see how we end. Let me know if you guys want to see another season where we make 1 or 2 more huge signings and most likely win everything, because the squad is looking really close. But that's gonna be all. I got an amazing announcement. If you made it all the way here, first of all, I want to thank you guys so much. But in the future, I have some announcements regarding future videos, but also the next game, FC25, that has been getting some major traction because of the release trailers. But it's been interesting so far amongst the community. But have a good rest of your day. I'm sorry we couldn't win anything. This was a failure, but next episode we'll definitely try to win some. We'll definitely win some trophies. Not try. We definitely will. Have a good rest of your day and peace.